metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
Great morning, Truth Nation. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. We are your cousin subs of the day. I'm a club sub, the legendary Home Blow, along with the legendary
Dame Melzy in the building.
Great morning to you, brother. How you doing and feeling this morning, man?
I'm doing excellent. Better than I was yesterday morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good today. Got up, got the baby ready, got everything off to where it's supposed to be, and you know, it's Wednesday, it's hump day.
Yes, sir.
That's where we at.
That part, man. I guess I'll call it trauma in the city. You know, and because all three of these things, in my opinion, continue to add to the trauma in the city. And that is the 11-year-old, and we're waiting to get more information on exactly what happened, because we got the Facebook and social media detectives that are, I seen it, this is what happened. But then if law enforcement ask them what happened, man, I ain't seen nothing, I just got here. You know what I'm saying? So, so we don't know all of the details of what happened with the 11-year-old. We do know that there's an 11-year-old who lost his life in West Lawn on Silver Spring here in Milwaukee. Again, there's a lot of this what happened, but I like receipts. So until I end up getting receipts, then yeah, I can't speak on it and not have to retract some of my commentary.
Especially when you're talking about an 11-year-old and families is involved and stuff like that. So you don't want to put out the wrong information and get because they may not even have all the information yet, and you start talking about some stuff and then like,
that ain't what happened
about whatever happened and stuff. You know, so yeah, you don't want to do that. But prayers go out to
and
the
I never
family.
do. Yep, and I
prayers
never
go
do.
out to the family of the 11-year-old. Prayers go out to the other children that may have or may not have been involved, because their life about to change as well.
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of families' lives about to change off of whatever happened yesterday.
The trauma in the city. Now let's talk about more. Another police chase. 3 people lost their lives. 2 more are severely injured. And it was more than just those 5, but 3 lost their life, 2 severely injured. Again, not having all the details. So I'm not going to speculate any further than the fact of, condolences to those who lost family members. Not condolences, but hopefully a speedy recovery to the other 2. But again, they say it's severely injured. So, we can only, for those who pray, you can only send prayers or whatever it is that you may do in hoping that they will get better. But again, we don't know the situation. We don't know what the cause was for the police chase. But it'll bring that debate up again, the chase. And I saw it all over social media last night. See, that's why, so. And then we talk about the children. Then we talk about the children that were found in a storage bin on 27th and Silver Spring, and a 26-year-old woman and a 33-year-old man were arrested. But these children, 2 months old, like the youngest was 2 months old, Dave. 2 months old. Like, that is, So the ages that the authorities located was a 2-month-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And a 26-year-old female and a 33-year-old male were arrested. MPD would not confirm if the adults have any relationship with the 6 children. Charges will be reviewed by the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. They were at the Store Safe facility, and that's where the children were located. And it is advertised to have 24/7 surveillance and top-of-the-line security measures with cameras visible around the property. The possible units available to rent at the 27th Street location range around 560 square feet in area on the large end to just 16 square feet on the small end. So, man, without having the details again, but also from hearing other situations where some people, due to high rent or evictions, have started to rent storage bins and live in them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that is what this situation is.
Sounds like
but you get what I'm saying? So with the 24-hour surveillance and talking about, we got cameras everywhere and all of that, hopefully they'll be able to review all of that. And hopefully the adults that were arrested will open up and tell the truth so they can know. But just hearing about a 2-month-old, you know what I'm saying, here knows that is trauma in itself.
Yeah, you have to.
Because this ain't living.
It's indicative of the times that we're living in and how hard it is out here for people. People can say and think what they want to think, but it's hard out here for people. You know what I'm saying? And I guess rather than living in the car, or maybe they didn't have any family members. I don't know the story. They could have worn out their welcome at a bunch of family members' house, or been tired of asking family members to help them. And I hope they aren't like criminally charged, and hopefully they're given, if that's the case, that they are given some help and given the resources to live someplace and be together as a family. Because a lot of times, a lot of these, how can I put it? A lot of places where they can go and stay for free and separate the men and the women. They don't have whole family centers, and so maybe that could have been the case. I don't know. I'm speculating, but before I point a finger, I would just hope that this family obviously needs some help. They need some resources. And we talked about community yesterday, and as a part of the community, we should reach out after we learn the facts and see if we can help this family get on their feet.
Of course, the YouTube page and Facebook Live, you can see us there, 1017 The Truth on Facebook, 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And, of course, the Truth Talk text line, 833-212-1017. On our YouTube page this morning so far, great morning, love you, appreciate you, to Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. Of course, Gabe Williams, great morning, love you, appreciate you. Venus Jones, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. Sis Star, Lorena Star Marie, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. Jeff, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. Josie, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. And, of course, for those of you who are not there, you can go and you can see and watch us. Make sure when you get to the page, you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So hashtag that part, hashtag facts. But, yeah, so... interesting.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Dane, what's on your mind, bro?
I'm still like this story. I read it a little bit last night, but I didn't. I I was doing so much I didn't digest it until just now. You know what I mean? And there's so many, like I said, there's so many different levels of what could have taken place, what happened. We don't know.
Are you talking about the storage bin?
Talking about the storage bin. Yeah. It's so many different levels. Because that you know, that's kind of like, man, that's indicative of the times that we're living in, that people are forced to live in the storage bin, and they probably, and if the kids are left there, maybe they may even have jobs, and they still live in the storage bin. That's the times that we're living in, where you can't even survive off of, you know, working a job, and you need more money. You need, everybody needs more, and it's just, but we got Amazon cats that have 500 billion, but these people can't even, you know, it's parts of our society that are homeless, and not by choice. Homeless because they don't have enough money. Homeless because of they don't have the resources and stuff. So it just makes me think, as our conversation was going yesterday about community, that this is another sign of a breakdown of our community, that this family didn't have anyone that they could have reached out to, that there was no one there for them. You know, I always, when I look at situations like this, I'm always not, before I blame them, I want to know, what could I have done? What if I was in that position, what would I have done? If other people around them saw this happening, could they have stepped in? You know what I'm saying? And we don't know, but it's just, yeah, my heart goes out to those kids that have to live in that storage and probably were going to school, and nobody knew they were going back to a storage bin. Parents probably said, don't you tell nobody what's going on. You know, stuff like that. So.
Things we know that happen in our community. Dr. Clarissa Lawrence, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. We're talking about trauma in the city because we're inundated with a lot of different situations just from yesterday alone. So we want to hear your truth on that. 833-212-1017. Trauma in the city, what does it mean to you? What do you think about when you hear this? Because you don't have time to just let it marinate at all, because it's another one and another one and another one. We got to take care of bills, but we'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
It's recognizing that there are people in the world that only have one word on their mind and heart when they become emotional and something happens to someone they like. They become irrational, they become fixated, and they do to others what they believe was done to them. The one thing everybody in America right now today, with the death of Charlie Kirk, the one thing they need to fear is retaliation.
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
You know, it's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
After an accident, don't wait to get the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices first. There is no fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. I am the legendary Home Blow, along with the legendary
Dame Elsie in the building.
We're talking about trauma in the city.
Yeah.
And we definitely want to hear from you because, unfortunately, we're inundated with it on a daily basis, basically.
Right. Like you just said, it was 24 hours. In the 24-hour cycle, we had an 11-year-old kid who lost his life, and then you have all those kids that are surrounding that situation. Like we said, we don't know all the facts.
Right.
So we won't speak on it, but we know it's other kids involved in that situation.
Yeah.
And then you have a storage facility.
Yeah, with 6 children.
6 kids.
Right, man.
You know, and they may be brothers and sisters. We don't know. They
Right.
But it's still 6 kids, right?
6.
And so, like as we were discussing in the break, y'all, it's like when you were part of the community, as Homer and I are, and your social media feed, every people calling you, any conversation you have,
dominated, man.
It comes up to this, right? And so we were discussing in the break how it affects us as human beings and the things that we go through, and that can become a lot. You know, when I think about these little kids living in the storage unit and the job that I have, I'm like, why couldn't nobody call us? You know what I'm saying? Or call somebody or a student or a teacher couldn't be like, I think this family needs, you know, where
Right.
It's so much going on, and there's so much, and that's outside, and that's the periphery of it. But what I'm saying is, inside of it, we internalize that. We internalize that information, and it becomes we take it in, and it becomes overwhelming. And you think like, if you're working in the community, you think like it's hopeless, right?
Yep.
You get that hopeless feeling about you. So you have to consciously be on point and always tell yourself it's not hopeless.
Right.
There's something you can do. You can keep working.
It's why we keep coming in.
This.
It's why we keep coming in doing this, because we know that our community needs this. And I understand the redundancy that some people may see or hear and be like, okay, well, they were, talking about this, or they were, we dealing with it daily. And unfortunately, it's the never ending story.
Right.
And that's where the thought of hopelessness is like, hold on, I know I intervened. I know I done some intervention, but 3 people still got killed, or you get what I'm saying? More kids still got shot. And it's like, okay, what am I doing this for? But we have to take those victories when we get those victories of like, you know what? Well, it could have been 6. You feel what I'm saying? But it was only 3.
Like with this situation with the people living in the storage unit, it hits me because, like I said, in my job, we provide housing. We building houses for people. We giving them opportunities, to rent from. We building complexes where they can rent, community on the corridor, things like we doing all of this stuff, providing housing, but yet somehow people still slip through the cracks. And I feel like that falls on us. You know what I'm saying? As a community, like we shouldn't let people fall through the cracks. Like we were talking about it yesterday. Like if you need sugar, you go next door. If you need that, now that's
the
small
village.
and trivial.
The village.
But the village shouldn't let this family fall through the cracks to the point where they have to stay in the storage bin. Somebody's got a place that they can let them stay to get on their feet. Somebody has something, and we just missed all of the signs of this, and they're living in a storage bin.
Again, going black with, and the Truth Talk text lines are open. We definitely want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. We talk about the fact that some of these people have burned so many bridges that even their immediate family and some of their friends don't feel like they can do anymore. They feel like they've done the best that they can do. You have people that will, we always reference people because it's one of the resource-based phone numbers that people can call, 211. And there are people who have horror stories about calling 211. And they're like, well, they don't. And then you hear the stories about the shelters. I think that we have more of a demand than we have the actual supply.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's where some of these things happen. We've got Blake on the True Talk text lines. Great morning, Blake. Love you. Appreciate you. Trauma in the city, man. What's your truth?
Man, I don't know. It's like everybody else is. Like when the flood came.
We can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, you're live on the air, so we just call Black. Yeah. Go ahead. What?
Is that better? Okay. No, I mean, I'm in Delafield, dude. The reception is bad out here. Okay. But with my truth, man, what I'm seeing is pride. A lot of people go through situations, no matter if it's mental, physical, emotional. The situation, like one of my kids called me. They on a budget, and she missed the payment, and she's going to go to Nashville this weekend. I'm like, why don't you have whoever paying for that trip help you with your rent? She calling me to get down and help her. I'm at work, and I'm like, what can I do? Well, I'm on the payment plan. I missed the payment. How much you got? If I got some money, you got some money. Mm-hmm. Well, I need $10.50. I'm like, you need $10.50 when? I needed it 2 weeks ago. I'm like, that's what you're supposed to tell me.
Right.
People wait till they get forward in that hole and they can't dig out. So, with the flood situation, I lost everything. I lost my clothes.
Sorry to hear about
that.
But
I'm working. Yeah. And then, when FEMA came, the owner got the money. Like, FEMA was at the house yesterday where I reside, and the owner getting the money. And I got to wait for the owner to get the money to give me my money. But I'm not going to stop and walk around with nothing, so I replenish my clothes. I'm still working. You being grown, you got to be grown out here. As far as the situation with the people, when you go through stuff, it's hard to act like when I spent $500 at the mall one day back in the day when I was hustling. I asked this white man for a cigarette, and if you're rich, would have bought you a lighter. You wouldn't get a half a lighter for a cigarette. You got a bag full of money, bag full of clothes, bag full of shoes, but you ain't get your lighter. I ain't giving you nothing. I wanted to choke him, but he had the right to tell me no. Mm-hmm. So help, when I'm a man with no custodial kids, and I need a place to stay. There's no help for us. Unless you have kids in your custody, unless y'all know something different.
No, you right.
A man can't. The shelters is cool, but for me, I'm making $4,700 a month. Plus, I got my own businesses. Something happened to me, I got to move. Where I go? Nowhere, but to the hotel. Mm-hmm. There's nothing out here for men, but when you got brothers in charge of their families, they got to do what they got to do. But then when you got people that got pride that don't want to ask nobody for no help, that's what ended up. When I seen it on the news, I'm like, this ain't here.
Right.
And it was here. I ride past it. I drop people off at the day program across the street from that place.
Wow.
And like back in the day, I grew up in the 70s. So, I'm on 23rd and Keith. I'm on 26th and Brown. I'm on Vine Street. There was, you go down the street and write your name in somebody's cement. You going to get a whooping when that man go tell on you. Your grandparents going to whoop you. Your daddy them going to whoop you. You wait till your daddy get off work. Yeah. You ain't going to eat that food. You going to sit there all night. You wake up, you going to sit there and eat that food.
The village.
You don't eat it. You going to sit there and eat that one. Yeah, it's the village. Yes, and the village is out to lunch.
Yeah, it's smoked out. I'd say it's smoked out.
Yeah, I heard yesterday it's smoked out. It's literally smoked out.
That's what I mean.
You can't ride past the car. You can't ride past the car without somebody smoking. And then these stores got the stuff up in the store.
Yep.
It's like nobody cares anymore, but then when something happens, you get a slap on the wrist. And I don't want to revert back to me, and I know I'm taking up y'all time, man. It's hard out here for brothers.
It's your truth, though. So, go ahead. Yep.
Ain't no excuse for us. You got women pushing out 9-pound babies, man. Ain't no excuse for no man. We got to get out here and get it. And the dope game, man, we used to think the dope game was the freedom, was the way to the altar. It ain't. It ain't. You can't do nothing with $4 million and ain't got no paper trail. You know what I'm saying? So get out here and get this bigger money. It's supposed to be hard, or it'll be a new champ every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a good day. We ride together.
Thank you, Blake. Love that. Again, 833-212-1017 is the Truth Talk text line. We're talking about trauma in the city this morning, and to whatever that means for you, because we don't have time to recalibrate before we run into some more trauma. So from a best friend dying, or learning that somebody has cancer, or, your friend or your son or daughter got shot, your brother or sister got shot. And it's like, wow, I'm supposed to still navigate. I'm trying to call in to work, and they're like, okay, well, is it your mother or your father? Other than that, you can't take off.
Yeah, there are, and to answer your question, there are scientific studies that discuss the effect of trauma on the DNA, the effect of trauma on your health, the effect of trauma on your physical appearance.
Right.
And when you're living in a situation as we live in Milwaukee, where it's a minority majority city, but there isn't a great middle class and all of that stuff, there's not a lot of help for us. You deal with that trauma every day, and you see the effects of it on us, on people's faces, on their health, on them daily.
We got to get ready to take care of some bills. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas, or visit mso.org.
We address people, young boys, as if they're grown when they're not. For me, they're not young men, they're young boys. And I think if we can keep them in that space, I can do a lot more with someone in middle school when I treat them as the boy that they are, versus trying to make them men when they're not, and they probably have very few examples of that.
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. Coming with straight truth.
Corey, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you when I first started hearing your voice. And what you're doing, in the words of T-Pain and Gorilla, I love it.
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Hey, I'm down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I introduce myself, because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence is a tool of oppression. It's a tool of subjugation. It's a tool of manifest destiny. Let's not say all of a sudden, oh, hip-hop music is why people are... No. Y'all know how America was discovered? Murder, slavery, human trafficking. The origins of violence predates hip-hop. Can we at least agree on that?
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
Dropped my pants. I had to make sure I wasn't seen. I don't want nobody to get surprised.
This is a sick Negro.
I'm just a real one. I peed again, came on back. I said, what y'all been doing? We've been out here for 3 hours. Y'all ain't peed yet? Just sitting here, we playing beer pong, and y'all sitting here peeing next to me? I'm still itchy today. Thinking something wrong. Am I the only one that's astonished by this?
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
We've had that earlier accident on 41 southbound at Appleton Avenue. That has been cleared. Those delays are starting to dissipate, so that's good news. Westbound 94 still a bit heavy right through the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes crossing over the county line to Sunny Slope Road. Eastbound 94 is backing up. Got a pocket of heavy traffic from Highway 16 to 164. A little bit more delayed from Highway F down through the Barker Road area. And again, back on the brakes. This one's a little heavier, though. Out of the Zoo Interchange all the way to about 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny and warm. A high of 80 at the lake, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. Of course, the legendary Home Blow, along with the legendary
Dame Elsie in the building.
We're talking about trauma in the city. We definitely want to hear from you because, again, when we're talking about trauma in the city, it's so many different things that are going on. Things that are going on in your life. I mean, you've been working somewhere for a long time and they all of a sudden let you go, or the company closes abruptly, or you've been doing your service to our community and all of a sudden your federal funding is just cut and gone. So it's a lot of different traumas. So we want to hear from you, Truth Nation, at 833-212-1017 on our YouTube page. While you're there, 101.7 The Truth, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Gabe Williams said earlier, prayers to them kids too. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real said, from talks among my peeps, mainly women I know, they rather suffer in silence than ask for help. They don't want to feel shame or have people have one up over them. We going to talk about that. Lori Patterson, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Don't play. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Don't play said, that's a fact, Homer. Some people can't be helped. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real said, then you do have people that need help, but didn't help the help in their time of need, and tables then turned. That, I think, is going into the help me to help you. So there are things that some of us do when we're trying to help people, and instead of doing the things that they need to do, you told them, okay, we're going to do this, but now this is what we need you to do. And if you don't do your part after we're trying to do our part, like we can give you numbers, we can give you resources, but if you don't call, if you don't go during the hours that you need to go, and then say, ain't nobody trying to help us. Yeah, see, I can't ride with that. You have to do some things yourself. But if you got people who care and love you enough to try to help you or lead you to those areas and those places that have resources to try to help people that may be in that situation. Dame, our pride kills us.
Our pride can kill us. I've had family members that have lost houses and things like that where they haven't spoken up and asked for help, and then by the time you find out, it's too late. I've also done that myself. When I was younger, electricity get cut off, and instead of asking for help, I sit in the dark till I get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just don't want, and it can be pride, but it's like sometimes you just don't want the world to know you made a mistake. And if it's something that I can correct, then I'm a correct. I've been one not to ever ask for a lot of help. I'm not one to, whether it be helping me move to helping me get through something. I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? I help other people, but I always internalize and don't ask for that help. As I've gotten older, I've learned to do that. I've learned to ask for help when I need it, because I've understand and my mentality is switched that the weakness is not asking for help. The strength is being able to be vulnerable and say, I need this help.
I'm asking for help. One thing you ain't got to worry about home is if I need help, I'm going to ask for help. I'm not going to sit and try to mentally just deal with it all. And I understand, like I say, people's pride and with the comment that's so real, what Sincere Ronnie Ray Real had to say as it relates to that, that people be like, well, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to be feeling ashamed or have people feel like they got one up over them. Like, and it's amazing when that happens, when you have people that have children and say, I would do anything for my kids. I'd rather make sure that my kids are all right before myself. If you help my children, and I'm going to figure it out. You get what I'm saying? And it's people that don't even want to, do that. They'll allow the children to suffer and go through things. And thinking about that storage bin, if that call hadn't been made and winter comes, a lot of those storage bins, especially those that have side, they're not heated. Mm-hmm. They're not heated. And to think about going through winters, 2-month-old, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, hopefully they wouldn't have done that. I would hope that this was just a summertime thing, and maybe because it's warm outside, it made it okay, and then something happened. But hopefully they wouldn't try to make it through the winter, because there's no outlets in there. You can't go run an outlet from outside. Mm-hmm. But then again, like the article said, there's 24/7 cameras. So somebody saw.
Oh, yeah.
These kids.
So that's why I can't wait to get the information. Yeah.
Somebody was aware of what was going on. So maybe a cousin or somebody, maybe this was somebody offering help to them. It's like, I got this, I work at the storage bin place. Y'all come on my shift and then leave on my shift. You know what I mean? Maybe I work third shift.
Yeah.
And in something,
somebody say that.
We don't even know. It could be this, like I said, this could have been somebody looking out. But Andrew just handed us the article, and we're talking about trauma, and thank you, Andrew, for this. You on point once again, man.
And right before you go in that, we do have a poll up. Has your pride gotten in the way of you getting help? That's on our YouTube page. Participate in that poll, and we'll find out. Has your pride gotten in the way of you getting help? But go ahead and read that, because I'm happy that he had handed this.
Andrew just handed us something about trauma and how trauma affects the DNA, and I often talk about it because if you've listened to me in the past, I did my master's thesis on how trauma affects the body, how your DNA is affected by racism, how your DNA is affected by so much. And this study did violent experiences alter the genome in ways that persist for generations. And I've talked about that in the past, and I'm glad Andrew brought up this article, and I'll just read this quote. The study documents the signatures of stress and trauma in the body under the skin. Our findings present the first ever evidence that violence can leave epigenetic marks on the genome, which has important implications for understanding evolution and how traumatic experiences can become embedded in the genome and persist for generations. And then it gives all of the doctors' names that said it. But that's what I've been preaching, is that we don't understand the effects of trauma and how it affects the DNA, how it goes down. Like they will talk about a mother having birth, and now her child has that stress. Then that stress that that child lives, is coupled with the mother's stress, and then that's passed on to the granddaughter. So it goes through generations, and that's why some races and some cultural subcultures have situations where they have, infant mortality rate is high, because those babies are born already feeling that. So now I always say you have a cup, right? When you're dealing with stress, you have a cup, and everybody's stress is going in this cup, and people lose it, or they lose their marbles, or whatever you want to say, when that stress boils over the top of that cup. Now just imagine you're born and your cup is already half full. Just imagine that all of the trauma that black people have gone through in America since slavery till now, passed along through generation and generation and generation and generation. So you get to a generation where the cup is almost full already. And then you add in the COVID. You add in all of the stuff that this generation has had to go through, the mental stuff, the COVID, the 9/11s, all of the stuff they've had to go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
That stress level is at the top. So y'all need to talk to people. Y'all need to check on your people. The people that are going through this and living through this, y'all need to go get help. I always advocate for everybody speaking to a psychiatrist so they can learn about
I say it all the time.
the trauma that they're going through. You may not even know you going through it.
They don't.
But if it's in your DNA, like this article says, you need to work that out your DNA so you can make space for the natural trauma that you go through.
They do not know. I often say that it's one of the killers of our community as well. People look at, and especially a lot of black people, in my opinion, look at going to a psychiatrist or a therapist as you crazy.
Yeah.
No. I tell people and try to explain that there are white people who've been going to a therapist or a psychiatrist since they were 6 years old, and they still go to them to this very day.
No matter what's going on in their life, they're going to go.
They're right. Because they understand, and you'll learn so much about yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you say, they'll unpack some things that you didn't even know that you had packed. And when we talk about the generations of that, to bring it home to some people that may not want to understand it that way, you can't say you know about crack babies and not understand what this study brought out, because there are babies that were born addicted to a substance because of the crack that their parent was smoking and still doing drugs through the pregnancy. There's alcohol. People still drink alcohol. They don't go get prenatal vitamins. They don't do any of the things. Sometimes they try to hide the pregnancy and they're 6-7 months pregnant and somebody, so you pregnant? You've lost 6 months of. You've been still out partying. You've still been smoking blunts that have chemical imbalance, because it's chemically imbalanced, because it's not just weed.
Yeah, we have to.
You feel what I'm saying?
We have to understand that everything is simply explained, like you explained, like with the crack babies. But everything that you digest is passed on to your child. And so what this study is saying is that everything that you digest, even physically, everything you digest visibly, everything you digest mentally is also passed on to your child. So with that in mind, y'all have to be careful as to what you digest, what you allow yourself to digest, because even if you're pregnant or not, that is hitting your genome and it's being passed on to your youth.
All right, we got to get ready to take care of some bills. Truth Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo! God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away. So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 101.7 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Talk to these people in terms of, how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the First Time Home Buyer Education Workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We are your cousin subs of the day. I'm a club sub, the legendary Home Blow, along with
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
Brought to you by Cousin Subs. On our YouTube page, Gabe Williams said, "Pride is the #1 killer amongst us." Anita Nicole, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. Curly Q, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. Enjoy Black Conscious, great morning, love you, appreciate you. There's also the ones that don't ask for help due to the people in their lives that are unable to help. Abstract Noor, great morning, love you, appreciate you. Said, what's happening? We're just cousin subs of the day. 40-year-old bi Mormon virgins said adult time. Great morning to you. Love you. Appreciate you. Ariane Kawanda, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. LaRon Taylor, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Said, good morning, y'all. Waking up to an 11-year-old killed and 3 people dead in a police chase.
And then somebody got run over by the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 deaths.
Yep, that ended up in
our community, right there. And and shout out to Andrew again for bringing that article forth. That was dope. And being able to, because I was trying to express it, and that article helped me express what I needed to express so deeply. But yeah, 5 deaths in 24 hours.
Yep,
all in the same community.
And this is where I go with the trauma in the city, because there are people who are hearing about those things and then also dealing with their own situations of, like I say, somebody may have been told that you got cancer. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody may have been told that, you got less than a year to live. You should have came in earlier, or whatever the case may be. And so when we think about all of that, those situations that happen, let's see, on Fond du Lac and Roosevelt yesterday, a 50-year-old male, 3-wheeler T-boned the patient, ejected patient. He was combative with altered level of consciousness and a broken arm. Then we have the 3200 block of Fond du Lac Avenue here in Milwaukee. It was vehicles on fire in the scrapyard. you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's everything that is going down in our community, and we're being inundated with it,
And that's like what I was just saying in the break, is that you have to be, what this article is stating, what I've been saying, what the medical community, what the scientific community has been saying, is all of this stuff that you digest, whether it's through your vision, through physically digesting, through the stuff that you encounter, affects your DNA. Now let's extend that further. You already dealing with the everyday stresses of living in a major city in America, right? You're dealing with the deaths, you're dealing with the crime, you're dealing with, the joblessness, the homelessness. You're dealing with all this stuff that you got to see and deal with that you can't escape. What you can escape in dealing with this trauma is who you choose to be around. So if you choose to be around someone that is negative, that's going to affect you. If you choose to be around someone that isn't a go-getter, that's sitting around doing nothing, we've all seen this happen, then you're going to end up like them. But if you choose to be around people that are successful, you deal with people that are going to school, deal with people that are about they business, whatever the case may be, then you're going to be added to that list. Why? Because it's affecting your DNA. It's affecting who you are. Because you're digesting the energy of these people. So people, I say this as a PSA. You see all of the trauma that we're dealing with. You only got so much more space for more trauma and more nonsense. Don't select to bring that nonsense and that bull into your life.
And so often people choose to do it. And social media doesn't help.
It doesn't. And sometimes I have to, I read someplace where
you
it
gotta
said,
unplug yourself,
it said
man.
you shouldn't.
Kendrick Lamar.
I had been waking up and then I would check my Instagram. I would check. You shouldn't check none of that stuff for at least the first hour that you have awakened, right? Because you want to get your mind set. You want to get yourself in a position where now you can ingest all of what's going to be on this stuff. You want to be in your own world before you go open yourself up to other people's world. And then you go through social media and it's like,
man,
especially in today's world with Trump and today's world of authoritarianism and the ICE and Gaza and all of this and the stuff that's going on in the Congo, all of these tragedies going on across the world, all of the tragedies we dealing with here.
Trauma in the city.
You can't escape it unless you just decide, I'm going to put my phone away.
Turn the TV out.
Right.
I'm telling you, trauma in the city. Let's see, 40-year-old said, high school experiment, things will get tense with kids who will try and ignorant kids with bad habits compared to the schools that hasn't been tagged. We're going to go to the True Talk text lines, 833-212-1017. Anita, great morning. I love you. I appreciate you. Trauma in the city. You're hearing the dialogue. What's your truth?
So I have a lot of truth, but I'll keep it short and simple as it relates to the poll that's running on YouTube right now. I would encourage individuals to also have another lens, look through another lens when it comes to the question as it relates to pride. I think sometimes when people appear to have pride because they're not taking help, sometimes that can be a form of their defense mechanism. So looking at all, the trauma, everything that the two of you have covered and discussed thus far, it's an example of why a person might pull themselves back and not feel safe. So for an individual, I don't know, the details of, the family that was living in the storage unit. But you might have situations where a person might say, I have experienced so much trauma in that situation, it would be better for me to live in a storage unit with my family. You have people that are suffering from physical abuse, mental abuse. They might not trust people. And so we have to find a way with kindness, with our action, with our words, to penetrate some of that hurt so that people understand that, if you're the appropriate person, that you're a safe space, you're a safe landing space. And that's what we're dealing with. Some people, what people might perceive as pride can be a form of protection for themselves. And so I would just encourage, I went through a situation as a teen. And people thought, you can just go back home. No, I can't. I can, but if I do, I might not make it if I go back home. I might not be where I'm at today if I go back home. So you have to understand people just need someone that they can trust And maybe, maybe it's 50-50. Maybe some is pride, but maybe some is just a form of protection, not knowing who they can trust and really just try to figure it out.
All right. Thank you very much for your call.
Very astute right there. I like that.
833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talk text number if you want to help with your ideas and what you think may be going on that creates this trauma in the city. Like I say, a lot of people, when they hear about a child being killed, it's like it mentally destroys them. You hear about more shootings, even the ones that don't end up being a homicide, but just the shootings in general. Just hearing rapid gunfire in your community and not hearing any ambulances or police coming, that is trauma. Like, we are shell-shocked, and some people don't even realize that. But when you hear a balloon pop, like, they shoot and they jump. I see it all the time with DJing a lot of different events and celebrations. And when it happens, I always get on the mic to try to, transform and be like, no, it wasn't what y'all thought it was. It was a balloon. It was a balloon. But everybody looks, they kind of laugh like, what we thought it was.
And the job I have and dealing with and the information that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. I've mentioned it a lot because that job has a lot of trauma. And I'm dealing with all the stuff y'all hear about, I hear about first. And so I don't even watch the news no more. After I started work, now when I was a building inspector, I was watching the news religiously because I wanted to stay informed. But now, I don't even watch the news. I come home at 10 o'clock, I don't watch the news no more.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got to get ready to take care of some bills. You're listening to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. We'll be black.
Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Impulsive negative thoughts, reacting. And these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV. The music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids they coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
The biggest snowflakes out here are always been the white Republicans who are so gung-ho on protecting the feelings of white kids while they ignore the needs of other kids. If Milwaukee's youth has a problem with fighting, well, white youth have a problem with being destructive and offensive. So it is sad that our government is actively working to de-emphasize educating and uplifting students of color in different backgrounds on college campuses. That emphasis is going to be diminished, and the only kids that will suffer will be our kids. They were willing to hold up the advancement of the state of Wisconsin because they disagree with DEI. What are white Republicans afraid of? Why are they afraid to face the fact that their grandmas and grandpapas were part of a system which purposely held black folks back and failed to give us the access that we deserve? Until these politicians stop ignoring these egregious acts of hate and racial incidents, America can never be great again.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Truth app.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them, epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
We're black. The legendary Home Blow, along with
the legendary Dame Elsie in the building.
Talking about trauma in the city. And of course, that encompasses so much. And there are so many things that took place just yesterday that really lets you understand what this dialogue is all about. DBJ on the YouTube page said, our prides and ego get in the way of asking for help. A lot of us have or had low self-esteem. Also said, I used to be horrible at asking people for help because I always wanted people to think everything was going great with me. So I was worried about how I looked or what people thought. And that is one of those silent killers. Andrew, our producer, great morning to you. What is the poll numbers looking like?
70% say yes, that pride has gotten in the way of asking themselves for help.
That's a stark number, Dave. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody does it. Everybody does it. Everybody will do it. Everybody in the past has done it. Everybody in the future will do it. It's about knowing when to decide I've done it enough. And like, we do it when we're young, and it's like I've gotten older. And as I gotten older, it was like, okay, I can ask for help. I can understand, like I was saying earlier, that there's strength in asking for help, that being able to be vulnerable and not hold on to the perceptions, like DVJ said on the YouTube line. I used to be horrible at asking people for help because I always wanted people to think everything was going great with me. So I was worried about how I looked or what people thought. You know what I'm saying? And so it's even more than the pride. It's wanting to hold up appearances and not have people see that everything ain't great with you. And that's why I'm always honest with people about whatever I'm going through. Like when I came here yesterday, I'm talking about what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. If you talk about what you're going through, and I tell rappers this all the time, if you talk about what you're going through, there's always 300 million, 300,000, whatever the number is you want to give, that are going through the same exact thing you're going through. So your story is going to help them. And as I started to do that, and I went through that, I realized that my story was helping others to live their story and be like, man, I went through that same thing, but I didn't do that. I didn't ask for help. I should have asked for help. And that's the situations that we have to get our community through.
Yeah, and you know, with me, and kind of like the opposite, I've never been afraid to, I'd never let my pride get in the way. If I needed help, I'm going to tell you I need help. So, and when I speak to other people, I often let them know, like, no, like, you know, the saying closed mouths don't get fed is real. Like, if we don't know, if people don't know, like, you know, hey, man, I'm going through some things. And I think that with my platform, with Keeping It Real, the next level, even when it was just keeping it real, that was the extent of it. Like, you have to open up, and to help other people learn how important it is to open up is a great thing. And people talk about they love somebody, and I say you can't learn to love somebody else until you learn how to love you. You got to learn how to love you first before you can really give, because it's superficial. Because when you don't love yourself and you do something for somebody, be like, man, all I did for you, and you get what I'm saying? Be like, well, if you loved yourself, be like, you know what? I've reached the end of my cable toe. You feel what I'm saying? I did the best that I can do, and I'm not going to feel bad because I know that I did. People have seasons in your life. So some people are evergreens and will be there for forever. But there are other people, you got to let that spring go. You got to let that summer go. You got to let that fall go. You got to let that winter go. And understand you will, like when you live in Wisconsin and places that get winters, that when those leaves fall off that tree, the new leaves, the new life, the new opportunities will come again. And you have to take advantage of that.
I was reading a book by this guy named Osho. It's about love and loneliness and all this. I was going through my divorce, so I was reading a bunch of stuff trying to get me through it. And what he said in this book, similar to what you just said, is that you have to, and I always go back to the cup analogy, whether it's stress or whatever it is, love. With the cup, you have to love yourself till that cup is full. And then once it's full, those around you can get the overflow of the love, right? And so, like, with the stress, you got so much space for the stress. And then once the stress gets to the top, it overflows. It's going to affect everyone around you. Same as the situation with love. When you put that love on yourself and you build with yourself, you read a book, you meditate, you pray, whatever it is you need to do to get yourself to that point. And then the excess that you have love for yourself, you can pass. You can't love nobody else until you love yourself. They say that all of the time, but you don't realize it's true until you've actually started practicing that.
We're going to the True Talk text lines. Henry, great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. I see that you want to talk about the storage with the children that were found in the storage bin. What's your truth, Henry?
Thanks for having me online this morning. Actually, I'm just grateful that the kids were found safe in the storage. I think it may be more common than we think it is or know about, because my wife had a storage unit at another location, and it was a family there. They had looked like they were living out of the storage. Like, they had a storage unit. They weren't living. They had like possessions in there. But then they had like a Transit Plus type of transportation, like, bus that appears that they were living out of, and they had like maybe sheets for curtains up in there. So a couple times I went there, the transportation bus was like parked in there in the facility, and my wife said, I think they might be living out of the facility. I was like, well, they got cameras there. They should be knowing that someone's living there that's not supposed to be there. So I just wanted to say I think that I'm blessed that the kids are okay. I don't know if this is the same family or not, but it just might be more common than we think, and the storage facility units need to be on the eye of that right now. Hopefully this is the eye opener for all the storage facilities in Milwaukee County.
Yeah, they definitely know. Some of them definitely know, Henry, in my opinion. But thank you for your truth.
It is very common. It is not uncommon for stuff like this to occur. People don't live where they can live.
Ariane Kawanda said, who do you ask for help when family says no, friends that you know and trust say no? So now who else do you have to turn when those two fail you? You'll feel everyone else will do the same, and therein lies their problem. You don't know. You get what I'm saying? Again, it goes back to the closed mouths don't get fed. If you lock yourself into your Fave 5, you remember when they had the commercial with the Fave 5? It's more people than your Fave 5, and you have to understand. If you don't get help here, you don't get help there, there are other people that will open up. I know plenty of people that didn't know the people at all, and they opened their home up. They opened up whatever they could do. People donated to say, okay, this is what I may not be able to do much, but I'm going to try to donate something to help you. Oh, you lost everything in a fire. Okay, I've got a furniture set that I can donate to you when you get your new place. I've got this, I've got that. We can't close our minds after you run into no's. Anybody that's ever tried to sign up for disability, you know you're going to get a lot of rejection letters. But you got to keep on applying. Be like, and then they do the retro pay, and you'll be able to get it that way. But don't stop and don't limit yourself to just your family and the friends that you trust.
And what she's saying is, and you have to see the other side of it as well, is that these no's affect you mentally as well. So you get told no enough times, And some people just reach their limit, and they like, if somebody else tells me no, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to snap. So it's a protection thing as well. Like, I hear what you're saying, but some people, it's a protection thing. I've reached my limit of no's. I've reached my limit of rejection. Whereas in your estimation and those that have learned a lot, they can say, you got to keep going. You got to keep going because the next one might be the yes. But for them that haven't done that work and they're in that space, that next no could be the one that now they are trying to commit suicide, or now they are offering their whole family. Or we don't know what that next no is going to do because their cup is at the top. And then once it overflows, they lose control. So a lot of no's can add to that trauma as well. So anybody out there that's going through something and you getting all of them no's, what Homer is saying and what I'm saying to you is keep going till you get that yes.
That's right.
Keep asking till you get that yes, because your health, what you mean to our community, what you mean to those who love you, what you mean to those who may be under you, watching you, is more important than your pride and more important than what you can handle. You can handle it.
That's it.
You can go through it. You can get to the other end of it, and at the other end, there will be a yes. And after that yes, everything will get better.
Yep.
But you just got to wait and be strong enough to get there.
Absolutely. And again, when I talk about these things, that's where it's at. We can't it's so many people that they feel like they are at the end. Well, I tried. It's like looking for a job. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, so you may not end up landing the job that you wanted to land, but if you say, I just need a job, I've helped so many people that have come out of the prison system, and they was like, okay, well, man, I just blow if you got any leads for any jobs. Okay, so if it's one of the box stores out there, and I'm like, okay, they're hiring. Oh man, I don't want to work there, man. They paying a minimum wage, or they paying this. I say to those people, after a while, I start saying to those people, I say, listen, how much were you making in the prison system? If you had a job in a correctional facility, how much was you making? But now, you making what, $4, $5 a week or something? You get what I'm saying? It's really low.
Yeah.
But here you got where you may be making $14, $15 an hour, and no, man, I need something else.
See, that's self-inflicted trauma.
Man,
That's trauma that your lack of understanding of how things work. See, people want to get from A to Z and not go through the other 24 letters of the alphabet. You can't get from A to Z. I tell people all the time, when I was young, first job I had was at Hardee's. Then when I was in college, I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Wendy's. I didn't get to where I am just overnight.
Listen, you better listen. You better say it. We got to get ready to take care of some bills. The Worm got some truth about the storage unit kids that he'd like to express. So we'll be back to go to our Truth Talk text lines, 833-212-1017. We got to take care of these bills, and we'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as the Hilltoppers travel to take on the Economawalk Raccoons. Join our coverage starting at 6:30 p.m., leading up to kickoff at 7 p.m. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Left's Lucky Town, C.G. Schmidt, Capital Insurance Agency, Boyle Fredrickson, Annex Wealth Management, Magic Productions, and Burghardt Sporting Goods.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas or visit mso.org.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-Owned Business Gift Back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. To sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC.
We're black. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, inside the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown at the Avenue. DBJ said, I was making 17 cents in the joint. I went on and took a busing job at Carnivore when I came home. Couldn't be picky out the gate. Hashtag that part. Ariane Kwanda said, I definitely don't have a plan A or plan B. I have a plan 26, the whole alphabet, because if one doesn't work, the next one will. And that's where we're going. We're going to the Truth Talk text lines. We got the worm. Thank you for being patient with us. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. You want to give us some truth about the storage unit kids, in your opinion, on that whole situation. So what's your truth?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I'm going to tell you, first off, you can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves first. You know, and like you all and like myself, you see a person and you quite naturally feel bad and you reach out to that person. And I'm sure we all have reached out to people numerous of times and tried to help someone that didn't want to help themselves. That's just like, you know, the drug addict. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have drug addicts in their family and they reach out to them. You know, a situation, you give all you can give, and then that person take all they can take. And you are feeling like, oh, I want to help. I want to help. You know, I'm a felon. I did 5 years straight in prison. I don't have a GED. And I'm going to tell you, I don't feel like I'm a felon. When I came home, I spent 2 days on my mother's couch. That's been over 15 years ago. I haven't been back. Now, if those people in that storage unit, if they were, you know, if things are just hard, which is capable, I feel for them. I hope they get the help they need. Now, if those people in those storage units, you know, oh, we trying, but then we go buy a bag of marijuana. I don't care if it's $5, because there's been a time where I counted 10 cents to help me. I can't spend that 10 cents because that's going to go to the good. But, people look at things as if, oh, that's nothing. Everything is something. You know what I mean? Do that make sense to you?
Yeah, I hear you. We hear you.
And I don't know. That's all I got to say. I was going to respond to that other caller, but I didn't forget. And just I got a niece, man, and then I'm going to let you go. I got a niece.
Mm-hmm.
I own property. I got a niece. Let her stay in one of my properties for free. Everyone then turned their back on her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, get yourself together. I don't care what kind of job you get. Go get a job. I bring her in my house, and I'm dead serious. Something so little. She go in my basement, and, I got deep freezer, and I got food on the shelves and everything. You find what you're looking for? Yeah, okay. And then as she's standing there, a bag of Oreo cookies fall out of her pocket. You didn't even have to steal that. I would have gave it to you.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody that don't want to help their self. I'm here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. And we'll go all day trying to help someone, and we'll never get nowhere. We'll just keep damaging ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So like I said, if they want to be helped and if they're trying, then it's for us all to come together and help those. But and I'm not saying turn our back, but I can't give what I work hard for to someone that absolutely don't want to help themselves, because now I'm just giving.
Yep, got you. It's the help me to help you situation. We thank you for your call. We got a couple more calls on the line. Alan, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. You hear the topic. We're talking about the trauma in the city. What's your truth?
Here's my truth. I'm listening to this. I'm an older white guy, conservative. I'm on my way downtown right now to go to City Hall to try to help my neighbors. I got to set some stuff up because guys who look like me come into the community and think they're going to take advantage, much like a carpetbagger back in after the Civil War. They come in there and they take advantage, and they use your traditional quietness of my wife and people in her community. They come into these communities and think they could just take money out of it and not spend any money. But they got caught. Now, the thing is, I agree with the young man 100%. I'm a felon, too, and I have never let that stop me. I went to prison for dealing weed and beating the bejesus out of a cop back in the 80s down in Kenosha. I never, ever have been ashamed of the fact. What I did was, in prison, there was nothing for me. There were no programs. I was told by Warden Berge, guys who've been in WAPA know who he is. He told me personally, Mr. So-and-so, there's nothing we can do for you. You're just here for punishment. So I said, okay, do your best. At the end of the day, I came home, and I try to help people. But here's the deal. When you're at the gas station, the guy, I'll tell sometimes a young lady or I'll give you $1. I'll buy you food. I'll buy you food. No, we don't want food. We want money. Well, like this other guy, I worked hard. No, there's no such thing. No privilege gave me anything. I've worked hard for what I have. Do I have things? Do my wife and I live a good life? Yes. But at the same time, we have to give back what we can. If I give you $100, you're going to go blow that money. If I help you get a job, you can live the rest of your life. Now, unlike many other people, and unlike the liberal, what I do, I will take a young man under my wing. I will help them go to college. I will write letters of recommendation. I have actually funded, when I was working, kids who wanted to go to the historical black colleges. I just made sure that the parents never told no one who helped them go. That's how a real citizen and a member of the community rolls. But me giving somebody my stuff, I could buy my wife a pair of boots at UGG or something. That goes, hair, nails, all that stuff. I can only give you so much. I will tell you this: we fund 2 food kitchens, 2 food pantries. I'm in a group, a Night of Columbus. We fund food pantries throughout the city where people can go get food. So the people who are just asking and asking and asking without doing anything for themselves, I'm with the other young man. 100%. In fact, he might even be harsher than I am. I think I'm pretty harsh. But God bless you guys.
Thank you, Alan. We're going to take Bobby. Bobby, great morning. Love you, appreciate you. We're talking about trauma in the city. What's your truth?
Hey, Homer. Hey, Dan. Can you guys hear me good?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Dan, you know me, Homer. I met you a few times. I've worked in the community for 22 years, man. I agree with everybody said. People have to be conditioned to accept the help that you're trying to give them. And one of the directions I want to go with this is that, I've recently been working to help someone in the state of Indiana. And different states have different resources and different capacities to care. In the city of Milwaukee, we do have a lot of resources that's available to people with help. The problem normally is connecting the people to the resources and the resources to the people. I was part of an initiative on the ground portion of it where we had ambassadors that went out looking for homeless and talking with homeless. And then we had a council that involved the city and Milwaukee County and different initiatives and the mission to try to get people into the program and figure out exactly what they need and get them in the houses. We also was working with Marquette University on this initiative, and it was successful. However, you'd be surprised how many people don't have the capacity to accept help or even want the help that you're trying to give them. And, working in the state of Indiana trying to help someone, man, they just don't have the concern or the capacity to have the resources that we got. So I just wanted to just add that element to it that in the city of Milwaukee, we got more resources available for people than one would like to think. The problem is it's not centrally located and it's not a central connection person to all of these resources. So I'm going to hang up and listen to you guys comment on that. And then, you know what I'm talking about, the resources that the city has available, but it's specified out and directly.
It's not easy to get to.
Right. All right. Thank you for your call, Bobby. It takes us to another break. We got to get ready to take care of some bills. You're listening to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We are your cousin subs of the day. I'm the legendary Homer Blow. I'm a club sub, along with the legendary
Dame Elsie in the building.
Brought to you by Cousin Subs. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 1017 The Truth.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive On collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, like that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Westbound 94, we've got an accident at 35th Street. It's off on the right shoulder. Delays coming from 17th Street past the accident scene all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes west of the Zoo interchange all the way past Calhoun. Eastbound 94 is backed up from before 84th Street to 35th. And southbound 43, watch for backups from Silver Spring all the way down past Locust. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny skies, warm with a high of 80 at the lakefront, 85 inland. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Great morning, Troop Nation. We're black. We're going to go right to the Truth Talk text lines. Al has been patiently holding. Great morning, Al. Love you, appreciate you. What's your truth this morning?
Well, I hear a lot of people talking about trauma. I'm not here to condemn anybody, but sometimes trauma is brought onto self. Also, it depends on how you deal with trauma. But you have to be the master recipe to get yourself out that trauma. A lot of times when you have these available resources, sometimes they make the resources so anal that they make you not want to use the resources. So sometimes you have to go through the process, even if you don't want to, because once you get through the process, then it opens up the door to other resources. But then on the other hand, when we look at some of the trauma, with everything being pushed in this world today, some things can add to the trauma. I use an example. You have a lot of farmers committing suicide, right? But then you have the administration going in and buying those farmers' property. So some things are created and some things are pushed. Now, if you're not trying to help yourself and somebody trying to help you and you keep falling back into it, then they have to let you rot.
Right.
Because I can't care about somebody who don't care about them. And then furthermore, when I see people begging on the street, especially if they're white, and I know you came from Greenfield on the south side, I'm not giving you nothing. I had a young man ask me, could I buy his mama a pack of cigarettes? And she was on an oxygen tank. I said, oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Yeah, I said, oh, she's on an oxygen tank. And she said it's okay for me to buy her some cigarettes. So I said, tell her come down here with her oxygen tank and she can buy them herself. So you got to be careful.
Damn.
Because other thing you got to remember, too, they can beg all they want on the south side, but the reason they come to the north side and beg because they know when black people see them, because they're white, black people feel they're going to get their blessing. Or they always say, God bless you. And I tell them, well, thank you, but you ain't being blessed today. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Al.
You know,
I've seen that, man. And these people will be up there on Appleton. Some of them will be right off the 175 exits and entrances, and they go get into a Beamer, man, or a Benz, man.
You know why they come to the north side? Because black people are historically and culturally, we accept the least of us, the magic Negro syndrome. You know what I'm saying? the bagger vans. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. Like the old adage is, I've read this on the internet and I've read it in articles as well. Is like if a child is somewhere lost, their mothers have been telling them, go find a black man, and they'll help you. So go find a black woman and she'll help you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And don't go up to that because they less likely to do some wild. Go find one of them and they gonna do what they can to get you to the position where you're safe. And that's trauma right here. What Al is talking about is 100% real because that's trauma. Because you're dealing with a situation where you've gone out of your way. I may only have $30, but I'm gonna give you $5. And then I watch you walk to the liquor store, or I watch you walk over here to what I know is the trap house. You know what I'm saying? I was at the gas station on Titonia and Roosevelt. I was coming from someplace, and there was this young lady there, and I remembered her from being at one of our Black Elephant shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, she knew who I was. She knew my name.
Right.
I gave her. She looked like she had been in an altercation with someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told the guy, I was like, hey, call her a cab. I'm gonna give her this money. You call her a cab so she can get home. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the gas station a couple days later. He's like, she never waited on that cab. She was gone with that $10 you gave her.
Mm.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm always remembering that. So that's trauma. So whenever I come across somebody that's asking me for money, I'm like, you straight, because she ruined it for all y'all.
Man, listen, that is a real thing.
Yeah.
That is a real thing. And what gets me is, as I was talking about, like Appleton and Capitol up here, when people be like, we'll work for food or whatever. I'm like, McDonald's is hiring. You don't understand? All these restaurants in this area got now hiring signs.
If I see an able-bodied young man out here, and that's the worst, I see a young person standing outside the gas station asking for money, and this is trauma. I shouldn't be this way, but I've been traumatized, y'all. I've been traumatized into
We've
this,
been
and
traumatized.
I understand that, and I should be fighting against it. So I consciously sometimes fight against it, but then sometimes I'm like, boy, go cut some grass.
Mm-hmm.
Go do something.
Yeah.
You can go do something. And you ain't got to do nothing illegal, but go find you a hustle someplace and do that. Go get a job at McDonald's. And not getting a job at McDonald's ain't easy. You got to show up. Let's not make it seem like it's the easiest thing to do. You got to show up every day. You got to have some place to wash this uniform. You got to have things to get, but at least go do something.
Man, some of us will taint so many things, in my opinion, Dame. I remember just seeing youth out there selling bottled waters on days that were hot, right? And I'm like, okay, that's good, because they could be doing so many other things, but they're out here for hours doing this. Until some people were like, no, bro, pay closer attention. And it's adults that are basically pimping.
Yes.
They out there pimping
At
them.
first, I thought the same thing.
Man, Dave.
And
it was so disheartening, man.
I was just going to get there, and that sometimes you know a lot, and that knowledge that you know about something can bring forth the trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see somebody and they're out begging for money, or they're panhandling or something, and I be like, that person get an SSI check.
Mm-hmm.
So that person's payee is probably stealing all of their money, or they done ran through their money and now they out here panhandling and stuff, right? So it's not like they're in a bad situation and this just happened. They just ran out of their money for the month because they payee did something. But I say all of that to say, having that institutional knowledge makes me jaded, and that's trauma.
Absolutely,
so now I'm passing that on. Where this person could really be in my need
Right,
help,
man.
but because of what I know, I'm like, no.
Listen. In another, it's like it was a woman that goes up and down Capitol Drive, and she's got a Benz type scooter. You feel what I'm saying? Electric scooter, and she's an amputee, and she going around like begging for money. Be like, you get a whole check, woman. You get a whole damn check.
And the fact that you can't work, your check is pretty big.
Right. You get what I'm saying? So, but another thing, man, that is an example of the trauma. I came up in the era and the day and age that if you saw a woman that was on a bus stop with a child, and it's like, hey, which way you going? I'll give you a ride. Bro, you can't do that no more. You can't, because I've read so many criminal complaints and just heard from other family or friends of how they were set up. They called themselves helping. The house that they end up trying to have you take them to, two men coming out.
They done told people you coming.
Yeah, man. So it's like, even in that sense, man, it's like, and I hate that. I mean, I really hate that we're not able to just be able to look out for people the way we did. Somebody can try to walk up to your vehicle at one of those things, trying to ask for money or whatever the case may be, on Fond du Lac or wherever, and they're like, don't come to my car. I'm telling you now, don't come, because you don't know. You've been traumatized.
You've been traumatized
it's
so
a
much.
setup, man.
Yeah, you think everything you've been traumatized.
Man.
We've been traumatized so much. We read the news so much. We've seen things happen. Like even when I'm just giving somebody, like you just said, giving somebody a ride. If I'm going someplace, if out of their normal place, like I'm dropping them off someplace, and it's not the normal place that I may drop them off, my antennas is up. So now I'm like, okay, let me not pull all the way to the curb. Let me not parallel park. Let me have my head on the swivel. That's the living in Milwaukee. That's the trauma that we go through every day
in the
because
city.
it jades you so much
Trauma
to
in
the
the
point
city.
where just a regular action, a regular daily action becomes stress. Dropping somebody off shouldn't be stressful.
Right. Andrew, do you have these type of issues?
I do now. Now I'm concerned.
No, in your normal life.
No, because I don't give rides to people.
No, I'm just saying the trauma in general that we just were talking about.
100%. But like again, it's a different. I think it's a different type of trauma. Like we were talking before the show, Homer, that like I come in and I do one job and I can go back to living my other life. Whereas like a lot of people don't have that luxury.
Right. So you're not inundated with the type of trauma that we're inundated with.
Your trauma that you may deal with is, and I'm not lessening it, and it's everybody's trauma that they deal with and what they dealing with is different. Like I talk about white folks all the time and Maslow's hierarchy, pyramid, and them being but they still have things that what they say, more money, more problems, more success, more problems, more of this, more of that. You know what I'm saying? So your issues that we may say, man, I would give my right leg to have that trauma, and that ain't really
right.
We can't say that ain't
coming from where we from.
Right. We can't say you got $800,000 in the bank. I got $800, but now you worried about how do I move this money and what do I do? And now that wealth insecurity hits you. If you came up, I may lose all my money. So now instead of you being worried about getting money, you worried about losing your money. So everything in your life is about how do I maintain my position? That's a different level of stress. Now I would say I want that stress, and most of us would say we want that stress, but do you really want that stress?
That part.
You can't really know until you walk around in somebody's shoes what the stress is they going through.
And just to clear up, producer Zimmel does not have $800,000 in the bank.
Not you. I know you don't. I know you don't because
let me make this perfectly clear.
Yeah, I know you don't. You got on my old school Milwaukee Brewers hat. Nobody with that hat on is got $800,000 in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So unless they own the Brewers, so
Brewers go.
We're not making that accusation to you. We're just saying that everybody's trauma and everybody's issues that they go through is different. Let's just imagine you come from a wealthy family, right? And we would give all our limbs to come from. But then when the hierarchy of that family passes, now you have to go through probate, you have to go through this, you have to go through that, and you may get left out the will, you don't get nothing. That is going to ruin you.
Yes, sir.
And we say, oh, grow up, you weak. But you don't know that person's life. You don't know their trauma.
All right, we got to get ready to take care of some bills. We'll be black. True Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017. We'll be black.
You're listening to Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home. All always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. To learn more about how you can take your first steps in buying your forever home, visit associatedbank.com/lending. That's associatedbank.com/lending. Or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Make every day extraordinary with something special from Wisconsin. From artisan cheeses to fresh produce to maple syrup, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection's Something Special from Wisconsin program is proud to work with member businesses that certify their Wisconsin-made and processed products. Look for the red and yellow sticker and visit somethingspecialfromwisconsin.com to find member businesses and products made with care, quality, and love. Sponsored by Wisconsin DATCP.
This is Truth in the Morning on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, great morning. Welcome to Truth in the Morning on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Of course, we're talking about the trauma in the city, and we were just, during the break, me and the legendary Dame Elsie were just talking about some other trauma that we deal with, man, and you know, it's a lot, but some people have created these situations. They've created these situations, and when we're talking about people living in storage units, sometimes you think about, with the cost of rent and renting a place or apartment or whatever, and a one-bedroom, like, Dane, what would you guesstimate? And Truth Nation, y'all let us know a one-bedroom place would be if you're trying to rent a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom.
Well, a one-bedroom, depending on where it is going to be at least a G.
See what I'm saying? So now let's start there. Okay, so you're talking about a one-bedroom that's a G. That's 1,000, Andrew.
Don't let them do you like that, Andrew.
Thanks, Homer. Thank you for that.
Don't let
I know. You're like, what's a G? I don't know.
Don't let them treat you that way.
No, just point of clarification. But anyway, so you figure that they had, and we don't know if these are the parents or the guardians of these children, but a 26-year-old woman was arrested and a 33-year-old was arrested, man that was arrested, and they are saying that charges, they're referring it to the DA's office for charges. But so you take a grown man and a grown woman. That's the one bedroom. Now you got 6 kids.
You can't technically put that many people in a one bedroom. There has to be so much space. People can say, and that comes from institutional knowledge that you and I have, is that there has to be such amount of square feet for each occupant of the space. So as a landlord, you technically can't rent to somebody.
And then the boys and girls situation comes into play. So now, what would a 3-bedroom run?
Oh, a 3-bedroom is going to run you at least 15.
So you get what I'm saying? So again, it is not right. It's not cool.
And then you got to add in, you talking about 1,500, and then you got to add in weak energies.
Yeah.
And then you got to add in your cell phone bills and all these different bills. So your bills is up.
Food.
Your bills is going to be at least $3,000 at the end of the month.
Absolutely.
For all of your stuff with the cell phone bills for you and your person, internet, all of this other stuff. Now, you don't have to have all of this stuff, but if you do, this is what we're talking about. So your bills at the end of the month is going to be between $25 and gas. If you got a car, bus car, it's going to be between $25 and $3,000 is what, $36,000 a year.
Correct.
That you're bringing home. So that means you have to make at least 55 to be able to afford.
Thank you, Andrew.
And then with that 36, that's all your money that you're bringing home. You know what I'm saying?
So rental market trends. If you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook Live, you can see the rental market trends in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And just kind of showing you. You feel what I'm saying?
647 square feet is $1,200, bro. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Average apartment size is 647 square feet. The average rent is $1,185.
Man, look at the 3-bedroom, bro.
647 square feet is this room and the studio and maybe the locker room.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. Maybe.
Part of that.
Absolutely.
But that's it. That's it. And you're paying $1,100, almost $1,200 for that. Come on, man.
Man, listen, man. So you can see our Aunt Kwanda said, I'm screenshotting this to show people here what rent is like black home. Can you put that black up again for so we can allow people to go on and get that graphic so you can.
Yeah. Gabe, real quick. Gabriel Williams just put on here that now the 6 children from the storage was just mentioned on Good Morning America.
Right.
It is national news.
Yep.
And we were talking about that. Why it's national news is because it fits. It shows the economics of this nation and the despair to an extreme that people can be like, oh. And then it also makes other people feel better that I'm not living in the storage. You know what I'm saying? The flip side of it. And that's terrible to say that.
Right.
But it makes, because you're dealing with racism in this country, so white people always want to feel better by putting black people down. And I don't know the race of this family.
Right.
But at least I'm not living in the storage. At least I'm not them. You know what I'm saying? So you get the double fold of it. You get the ability to attack Trump and attack those in office by saying their economy is bad. And then you also get the ability to feel better about yourself because I could be doing worse.
Yep.
As bad as I'm doing, I could be doing worse.
Right. And, this is why when we say trauma in the city, this is another form of trauma that some people don't look at as trauma. They become desensitized.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is a form of I don't care, because it leads to exactly what you were saying. At least I ain't. You get what I'm saying?
At least I ain't living in a store.
I'm good.
I got my lights on. I got a little hoopty sitting out front, so I must be doing well. When in actuality, you doing bad too, player.
Hashtag that part.
And that's the myth of America. The American dream is a lie, y'all. Wake up. All of us are doing bad. Unless you are Bezos, and unless you are the Zuckerberg and all of them cats, you poor.
Yep.
You not poor?
No, I got $800K. Remember, Dan?
Oh, I forgot. I forgot I gave you $800,000.
We're gonna
still poor.
We're gonna try to take this.
Because you got $900,000 in bills.
We're gonna try to take this last call before we end up coming to the end of the show. Security, Mike. Great morning. Love you. Appreciate you. Here we're talking about trauma in the city. What's your truth?
Hey, what's up, Homer and Dan? I was going to say, well, people voted for Trump. They see what that effect has done to them. And as far as these rents are concerned, if you don't mind living in these bad neighborhoods, the rents are cheap. All up and down Wales, from like 27th up to about 34th, 35th, or same as Highland. All those rents are $500, $600, $700, but they're bad neighborhoods. So you don't have to be living in the storage unit.
Yeah,
you catch one of them over there.
Bad neighborhoods, but also bad neighborhoods. Yeah, but also slumlords.
Yeah, you're not getting nothing.
You get what I'm saying? So you ain't getting nothing fixed. You ain't nothing repaired.
They know it.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And then, yeah.
And even in some of those areas, the rent is still high. You go in there and you like, Like when I was renting my unit, I went and looked at some other units to compare, right? And so I was like, let me go around and see what a 4-bedroom looks like and what it. I was like, oh, my house look like the Taj Mahal.
I was gonna say,
and they charging more than me and I'm like, because I don't want to gouge, so they charging more than me, and I know they not. This is what you're giving to people,
right?
This is what you're giving to people. Real quick, my man DE on the chat line. I hate that you got the same initials as me because you're coming at us. Said, yeah, it sounds crazy today talking about trauma and trying to help somebody. What about the people that need help? What about their trauma? Guess I'll listen to y'all another day. You should have been listening since 7 o'clock.
That part.
Before you jump on here talking crazy, brother, you should have been listening at 7 o'clock. We went through that. We're going to the other side of it now. It's a whole circular conversation.
That's right.
The big picture of it. So that's what we're doing.
And unfortunately, this... when we talk about, and unless it's some elections coming up, this is what a lot of people in our community are concerned about.
Yes.
So you can say, let's go in this direction, let's go in that direction, but somebody, because even on the post on our YouTube page, you've seen a few people comment, yeah, what about the people that died and the 3 people that died? They're bringing it up.
Yeah.
They're bringing it up. And we're talking about the truth and Truth Nation. This is why I say, what's your truth? Because everybody, it could be different for a lot of different people because we're individuals in the end. But we have a lot of things that we come to a common ground on. So, yeah.
Of our community.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, Dame, as we get ready to round home.
As we end this up, this is my last day this week. Shout out to Bailey Coleman. Condolences to her and her family on the loss of her brother. Bailey will be in tomorrow. Love you, sis. Yeah, y'all hold it down. I'll be back next week. Homer's still here. I'll be back next week, and I love y'all.
Hey, and next week, I'll be here for the last couple of days of this week, obviously, but next week, I'll be holding it down for Kyle Wallace on Truth to Power from noon to 1 Central Standard Time, so on Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll come and join Wednesday and Thursday before I get ready to head out of town for the Meal Tex. Shout out to Lydell Ruffin. If nobody is,
they're playing
Packers.
Packers playing in Dallas.
Yeah, and we got Micah Parsons. So
it's gonna be a great game.
Absolutely. If nobody has told you that they love you today, I want to let you know that I love you, and I want you to please have a safe and nonviolent remainder of the morning, afternoon, evening, night, and hopefully the things we have to talk about in the near future won't have to be within our minute degrees of separation. Love you, babes. Talk to my agent. We're up out of here. Peace.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am